What's going on, everybody? I'm taking this all over this week. It's PDK, the original game, how it was supposed to be originally. The other two niggas. Darnell is fixing his camera. Edward originally, of course, is always disappointed, but that's just how we do this thing. You know what I mean? Let's just crack it off. I am your boy, Sedacious Xavier Miles, the one and only, on behalf of me and the brothers and the ones that's fucking late. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. We love you. Let's do it, Darnell.
And once again, this is Black Peace, the host of Talkin Smoke. That is what that is the name of my glasses. It does say Black Peace right there engraved to let you know what it is. You can check me out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any podcast you can fuck with. I'm gonna be there. Google me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. This is your boy Edward, man. Make sure you follow me at EMAXStats for all your up-to-date high school sports coverage, as well as your up-to-date college and professional pro coverage. Again, as always, my name is Edward, coming from a great decision made by my mother to name me after a great man, that being my father. And somewhere in between the mix, there would be no my mother without my grandmother. So shout out to her too. Yeah, man. So slowly but surely, we're gonna get at full strength on the podcast. Our brother Sean Hart Izzo and Coach Johnson will be coming in momentarily. But hey, man, it is what it is for right now. It's 3-on-3. It's the big three. So yeah, fellas. I know I texted y'all this earlier in the
Let's get into
it. I know I texted this earlier in the group chat. I was just like, prostitution. All right. Prostitution. Yeah. So and for the fans listening, we're definitely going to talk about our legendary podcast from last episode when we did the mock NFL draft. So don't worry, we'll get to that when everybody get on the pod. But for starters, prostitution. All right. So I don't know if y'all ever fell down this wormhole of like these little make-believe fake pranks that be on like Facebook and whatnot. And so it's this one particular page that like seems to always be on my like Facebook feed or whatever. And it's like this guy trying to holler at this chick. He looking like regular in some regular clothes as if he about to go work out or wherever. He looking bummy. They shoot him down. Then he walks off to like a Lambo or some flashy car. And they be like, "Oh, word, that's you? Like, what's good? What's going? Yeah, right. That's you. That's your shit." And so from that moment on, like they show interest once they see what type of ride dude riding in. So it's like they all kind of, I guess for the most part, I've only seen maybe like two. But yeah, conversation completely changes. Woman's interest in the guy completely changes once she sees like what type of ride he riding in. Where initially he's showing up kind of just looking like whatever, and she like, I don't want no broke nigga talking to me like da da da. You need some money, da 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 da, blah blah blah. So it was this one particular situation. Dude walks up on the chick. She coming out the corner store. It's late. She say she getting ready to go to the club. And like, dude, like, yo, what's up? What's good? Da 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 da. What you trying to get into? Blase, blase. And she just like, you know, like, you ain't looking the part of me trying to get at me, dude. Like, what's like, we ain't got no business with each other. You feel me? And so he like, all right, it is what it is, or whatever. He walking from a bummy car, which makes her think that it's his car. But as he departs from her, he like walks off to some fancy shiny car, and she's like, "Oh, what's going on, bro? Like before you pull off, like what's good?" And so in that situation, so once like she kind of like was trying to choose up on him, he was just like, man, you tried to play me. You weren't really trying to feel me before when she thought I was like, you know, you thought that was my ride over there. And so he was just kind of like straight. He was like, shit, like what? Like you gonna let me hit them cheeks or like what's going on tonight? Like, you know, like what club you going to? All right, bet I'm gonna follow you to the club, bring some of my boys. You wanna go to my place after? She was like, what you trying to do? He's like, shit, you know what's up. And she was just like, I mean, we could do whatever, but like shit, you're gonna have to come up off some bread. And he was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that ain't nothing. Like that is what it is. So she was just like, yeah, you can meet me at the club, but like, you know, it's whatever. But I mean, just know you coming up off some bread at the end of the night type deal. And so from that standpoint, he tries to like, oh, you a gold digger. You only really want me for my money or whatever the case may be. And I was just like, And like, we're not promoting prostitution on this podcast.
Not at all, folks. Not at all.
Although it is very legal in some countries out there outside the United States, and I could be, I ain't gonna say I could be. I was about to say I could be wrong, but I think it's legal in a couple states. But don't quote me on that. But yeah, when she was just like, yeah, bro, we can do whatever, like you can fuck, but just know you're gonna like have to like break off some bread. In my mind, I was just like, I'm not mad at her for that. Like I don't frown upon that in no way, shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. I think and now me not frowning upon her for making sure he break off the cash before she give up some ass. In no way is this me vouching for paying for pussy. I have never done that personally. So I don't want this to be a validation and make it seem like I'm out there paying for it or I've ever paid for it. I stand firm to the 2 first letters of my last name. So yeah. But I don't know. Like, how do y'all like feel about like, I don't know. I guess an exchange. I don't need a transaction. I don't even know if you want to call it prostitution at this day and age. Like, if you a guy, like if a female, no, bro, you just want me to suck and fuck and you want to have no dealings for me other than to just like use my body, like. Yeah, like you have to break off a couple hundred. Like I see nothing wrong with a female's mindset going to that. Where before, because all he gonna do is talk about you. I met her with the whoop, suck the fuck, flip pass it to the bro. Like I don't see nothing wrong with one compensation for that. But yeah, do y'all have a take on that?
You go ahead, Darnell. I just want to make sure I ain't gotta get on both y'all ass. But go ahead.
Okay, so you know what direction that's going. But me personally, man, that's prostitution, man. Like, because I believe prostitution is money plus sex equals prostitution. Money plus love plus sex equals a relationship. Now, that doesn't mean that, you know, all those ingredients can be involved, but it's all about this certain amount of how you balance it out. You know what I'm saying? That's all upon the people, the parties involved, about how they want to deal with it. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. If you literally giving somebody some money and you're giving somebody sex, any way you look at it is prostitution. You take them out to eat and then you have sex to a certain extent and there's no emotions after that, it's lightweight prostitution. You know what I'm saying? Now, if there's feelings, there's a likeness, there's love, that cuts it off from being prostitution. But at the end of the day, it's a thin line, in my opinion. I'm not, it's that's the way life works. The way I look at it, the way you broke it down. You know what I'm saying? There's levels of prostitution, and at the end of the day, that's the lowest level. It's not the on the corner wearing the stockings and whistling or getting whistled at, and you go into the car and whoop de woo. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it is money for sex, which equals prostitution. You look in the dictionary, I'm pretty sure that's the definition.
Before you go, Sedacious, what if it's not blatant, like, yo, I'm standing on the corner like I'm a hooker? Like, what if it's just like, nigga up on you in the club, he trying to fuck, and it's just like, bro, you gonna have to pay me for my time. It could still be a variation of prostitution, but like, I don't know. What your take, Sedacious, your take?
So I want to quote I want to quote Dr. Wayne when I say, if you catch my girl's legs open, you better smash that. But don't be surprised if she asks, where's the cash at? Don't be surprised, because, nigga, that's the world that we living in. The fuck life. Sorry, Edward. But every nigga pays for sex. Sorry. We've been doing it. Nigga, since we done bought the first little rolls for a bitch, we've been paying.
In whether it's directly or indirectly,
you've been paying for it.
That's fair. But I'm just saying, like, when I say like pay for it, I'm saying like it may not, like, I don't have no game, so like, hey, here's $100. Can you do this for me? That's what I'm talking about.
See, what you can't do is this is why I get on Christian's ass, because you can't focus in on that, because you decide to do it like the godly way, the righteous way, to get with one woman, one whole bro, pay for your vagina that way. You can't shun this man or like hate on it. Not saying that you hate him, but that's what it seems like. People want to bring that up so much. It seems like you hate the way that this person got to get it how they live. because you can do it, that way. You know what I mean? This person was like, yo, I want to get on my shit. I don't want to do the love shit. I want to fuck with the bitches that I could just pay. They gonna fuck me, and they ain't finna be calling my girl and telling my girl, hey, look at this nigga on my couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a simple transaction, and I go on, I get to be on about my shit. And niggas hate on that because they don't understand that side of life.
Not wanting the headache that comes with it.
Everybody's not able. Some people have been hurt so much, not even if they want to be on some, just fucking with prostitute shit. Some dudes have literally been hurt so much the way it's just like, yo, bro, like I'm just gonna, fuck with my kids because I got this custody shit set up to where I can fuck with my kid from this crazy bitch. And I don't ever want to love nobody because of this crazy bitch. I'm finna just go, fuck with Jessica, fuck with Stacy. You know what I mean? And they gonna take care of a nigga. They fucking nigga right, how I like, everything, and I'm good. I ain't gotta worry about that. So that's how I look at it. That's how me, Sedacious as the righteous one, can be like, oh, okay, I see how you doing your shit. You paying for pussy directly, one transaction. Oh, okay, I see how you doing your shit, getting down on one knee and putting a ring on it. Okay, I fuck with that. Either way. So that's just my take on it. To piggyback off Darnell, really is just like, the only thing that makes this shit not prostitution is the fact that you love your bitch. Like that is it.
And I have to add on to that though, it makes it a significant difference. So the fact that,
of course,
that love, that's the beauty about love. Like love is that impactful to where it can change one quote unquote dirty situation to one of the most beautiful things in life.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. Like that's when people say, do you love me? That's why women take it so serious, because at the end of the day, I think back of their heads, they take it as, you know what? Am I being a hoe? Am I being a prostitute? He is doing this and that for me, and I'm giving him sex, but do he love me though? Because that matters. If not, I'm a hoe in my own eyes. And that's what I think sometimes they go through. And that's why when the attachment of love is brought up to a woman's mindset in a relationship, is so important. They think it's like, oh shit, like if I'm not, he don't love me, then this is just prostitution. Whether I like it, whether you like it, by definition, this is prostitution if you don't love me. He's giving me everything I like, and I'm giving him sexual favors.
Okay, so like, I'm sorry, you want to go, Dacius?
I think what fucked everybody up is the rap music, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because the rap music from both men and women, it's kind of like, this is 2021. You know what I mean? Like, so when you're going out to the it clubs and the scenes and the shit like that, they playing the music, they playing the vibe for the music. Like, you gotta be the on your shit nigga who got a section, who in some kind of way, directly or indirectly, is finna pay this bitch to fuck, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and I say indirectly because she'll fuck for free if you got the right car, if you take her to the right house, if you got the screen on your refrigerator where she can, you know what I'm saying? She finna fuck for free. You ain't gonna have to pay her for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because she get to live up and, you know what I'm saying, enjoy
the experience.
Right. And get to enjoy that shit. So you get to probably fuck her for free if you that on. That's the niggas I feel like don't understand is that's another way that you pay for pussy is that you get so on like Drake that you get the best pussy for free. And you can't get on like Drake, of course, but like you need to be trying to hit one of them Drake, Kanye, like Jay-Z type of grinds, Rick Ross, P. Diddy type of grinds to fuck the baddest bitches for free.
Do you think that's one of the lowest levels of prostitution, or do you think that's a high level? Do you think you're more of a simp, or do you think you're more of a simp, or do you think you're more of a G for doing that?
Right. You a fucking Mac. You a gangster. You what we want to be.
Because at the end of the day, you killing two birds, one stone. You being successful in your own way, making yourself happy, and you're getting quote unquote free what?
Free vagina.
So all right, all right.
Get cut up.
So within this conversation, what I'm taking from it is that sex is always being paid for, no matter what. It just comes in different forms of payment. The payment looks different across the board from man to man.
Euros, pesos, gold, silver.
Yeah, debit,
bro,
cash,
I'm gonna tell you like
cash
this,
out,
bro.
Venmo.
Now, I guess you
What's
can
the
relate it to
union?
prostitution, but look at every last early war in life. Cleopatra, the Troy War. That's all over females, bruh. Females. Look it up. Troy, that was over a female. Yeah, it was other stuff involved, but overall, a female.
Right.
Like, it's one of the most prized things there is, whether we like it or not, or we want to put on a pedestal or not.
So they took niggas' lives. They took niggas' lives and paid for pussy. That's how serious this gets.
There you go. That's what I was trying to say. Way to clean it up, buddy.
Yeah, right on. Slime Language 2. Slime Language 2, Young Thug and everybody like under his label. So recently Paid the Fine just came out, the music video with Young Thug, Ghana, Lil Baby, and YTB Trench. And basically like the theme of the video it's just them, coming together, putting all their money together and getting a handful of people out of the county jail out here in Atlanta, Georgia. One of the notes on the video was 412,000 people across America struggle with being able to pay their bond, and as a result, they end up staying in jail to their sentencing. There was one guy by the name of Adam Bird. He was in prison, no prior offenses. He was sitting in jail, awaiting trial, or just that legal process for an alleged murder that was in self-defense. And again, he had no prior charges, but because he didn't necessarily have a bond, and his bond was $240,000, and so he had ended up spending 3.5 years in jail, just like waiting on that process to play out. But luckily, due to Young Thug and Lil Baby now, Ghana, YTB, Trench, and not just that specific guy, but I mean that was one intriguing case. They can put their money together and they got a handful of people out of jail. I just wanted to salute that. I think that's dope. As we know, there's a lot of nonsense and BS that comes across our feed every day. But for whatever random reason, I didn't see that trending. So I just thought that was very whack. And so I just wanted to use our platform to triple salute those guys for coming together and doing something like that. I know a lot of times, I think you've had like Hove, I think Jay-Z around Father's Day time, he had did that, got a lot of fathers out of county jail. And so yeah, I mean they got a handful of people out, and you got to see those special moments, people getting to see their family again on the video. And so yeah, I just think that was dope. So triple salute, Young Thug, Ghana, YTB, Trench, Lil Baby, them coming together and doing that. That was a very honorable and respectable and commendable act of kindness that they did. So yeah, if y'all want to touch on that, y'all can. If not, we can keep it moving.
Yeah, we definitely can, bro. You said everything. That was the perfect sentiment. I don't think that there's a person here that would disagree, and if you do, you might have to see me.
All right, done.
What if I just want to see just cause?
you bro. I didn't even know this nigga was on here. Yeah. Bro, you big can pull up on me, fam. You know that.
All right, so NLE Chopper, right? He just recently had a fight on the beach, and when I personally saw that fight, my mind immediately went to help me out, Darnell. Damn, why am I having a brain fart right now?
Maxo Cream?
Not Maxo Cream. With what's the guy's name that just recently died?
King Von.
King Von. Thank you. So the way this situation played out, apparently a fan saw NLE Chopper at the beach. Wanted a picture. NLE Chopper was kind of just like, not right now, or this ain't really the day. Fan felt some type of way. They got into exchange. NLE Chopper got his people with him. Maybe like the fan had maybe like another person with him. I think NLE Chopper had maybe 4 to 5 people with him. Not in a picture taking mood, just want to be to himself, not be caught up in a celebrity. That back and forthness turned into a fight, right? And as I was watching it, it kind of just took me back to watching a videotape of King Von when he went and started punching on what's his name. And in my mind, all I could think was like, bro, like, what if that fan was whomever? I don't know where exactly that state that happened in, but like, what if that fan had some shot, unfortunately, NLE Chopper or shot one of his friends, right? Or what if the shoe was on the other foot? One of them had guns, and they gun go off, or they accidentally shoot somebody, and like that blood is, I guess, kind of somewhat on NLE Chopper hands, or like, yeah, I can't really speak to celebrities, so I can't tell NLE Chopper like how to handle himself, but I just want for us or those people in those situations, and it's probably easier said than done, to just be smarter. Like, I know we want, as men, like, we gonna ride and we gonna die for our respect and the whole nine, and you ain't gonna let nobody talk to you, any kind of way, and any, sideways, and that all of that put together. But man, NLE Chopper or anybody else watching this, or that may be in his position somewhat, or may find himself in similar circumstances, man, just be smarter, man. Like, you gotta try to just be smarter, man. I'm thankful that nothing happened. I'm thankful that it didn't turn as serious as the King Von situation turned out. But like, that's all I could keep thinking about. Not wishing it on them, obviously, but I was just like, that could have been a horrific, tragic incident for either side. I'm not taking either side. I'm just saying, like, oh man, as hard as it is, man, let's just try to like count our blessings, weigh our options, and walk away when needed. But yeah, man, yeah.
I mean, you hit it on the head, to be honest with you, bro. At the end of the day, he's only 18 years old. He's coming, I can't say coming out of gang life, but he's trying to be a young OG in the gang life. He's trying to be an example. He's trying to better his life, whether it be his health or just be an example to other, young men. And at the end of the day, we all know, being a young man, we all get tried. And I felt like I don't want to fault him for that, because of all the positive things he's already done. Like I say, he changed up his diet. He promotes his diet. He promotes his spirituality. He's getting to a more of a woke place. But yet, at the end of the day, still being himself. He's still going to gang bang to a certain extent to represent where he's from and to represent who he is. But at the end of the day, I feel like you're right to feel that way, but he is still a young man, and we still have to count those positive moves forward. You know what I'm saying? A lot of young artists aren't getting credit for when they do positive shit. They like, when situations like this pop off, they often forget that they were trying to better themselves, and they just fell to a human mistake. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you're putting them on the spotlight, but it's one of the things where I feel like you kind of have to count the positive things he was already doing, rather than, focusing too much in on that. I'd rather, not saying rather, but, just kind of let them live on this one. You know what I'm saying? I feel you on that, but I feel you.
And then the situations was different, man. Like, totally different in the sense of like NBA, King Von, like they side, they already had something, like prior altercations, going with each other. But like, I think the NLE situation was a fan wanted a picture, and he said at times, he feels like taking pictures with his fans, but at that particular time, I guess he didn't, which is, he's rightful to feel, whatever he want to feel, he is a man, so we all human, we entitled to feel what we feel. So I guess he denied them the picture, and he said words were exchanged. They called him, I think they called him a bitch or something like that. So it's like, and I think some other choice words he said, followed that. So it's like, at that point, I understand walk away, be the bigger man, but it's like, certain words, heat of the moment, you could become impulsive, but yeah, two different situations though.
After doing so much positive, it's like,
nah, for real, yeah, and he definitely was on the right track as far as like, understanding who he was, and basically being comfortable with who he was.
Yeah, I mean, I may be being extreme. Oh, you go, Dej.
No, I like that. I like Edward, that you speak to, caring about our superstars, saying, especially in that young age, and all of their, all of their prosperity, you know what I'm saying? You want you speak to trying to guard that. You know what I'm saying? So like, hey man, we tired of hearing about the King Vons. You know what I mean? So I love that you speak to that. But what I want to speak to is the bitch ass niggas who can't just take a no, bro. My boy is like just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure NLE respectfully said to these niggas, yo, like, just not right now. You know what I'm saying? I really fucking hate that. He probably didn't say this. He was like, no, right now. And then niggas got in their feelings on some shit. Like, niggas got in their feelings. And that be, like, the problem. It's like niggas be too entitled. Like, why do you feel like you can get mad at a grown man because he don't want to take a picture with you? Like, I get it that he's NLE chopping, you know what I'm saying? It'll probably get you a little bit more clout on your Instagram. But when my man said no, as a real nigga, you take that L and you just be like, yo, you know, I get the next celebrity. You don't call a man a bitch, bro. Like, you don't know this man from Adam. You just gonna like just, you wanted a picture with him and all of a sudden you want to fight him? How the fuck that work? So, yeah, I feel you, Edward, the way you come from, but I can understand if somebody be like, because I've been in a situation where I'd be like, no, and the motherfucker try to like really like press me because I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, I respectfully was like, nah, like trying to send me through the guilt trip, call me all kinds of names, you know, like nah, like fuck all that, bro. It's up after that. You know what I mean? Because I respectfully gave you the no. And then you decided to disrespect me. So like whatever it is that I choose to do to you, you wanted this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not. We human. We get, like Isaac was saying, in the heat of the moment. I'm not trying to cast any aspersions on like NLE Chopper. Like, I'm just more about promoting whatever is possible to preserve human life. That's what I most care about. You know, like that's for NLE Chopper and that's for the fan. You know, so but yeah, man. So the NBA, not even the playoffs. We ain't even talking about the playoffs. We're talking about the NBA playoff tournament. LeBron just recently came out and said whoever made this shit up needs to be fired. If I was in the interview room, I would really like to ask LeBron James the simple question like, hey, Bron, obviously I know you could care less about the play-in tournament last year when y'all were the number 1 seed. So are you like, do you completely feel like that all the way, or are you just saying that right now as y'all like possibly flirting with possibly being in that playoff tournament? Sedacious.
So what seed you have to be in that tournament?
7 and 8. Well, 7 through 10. All the seeds, 7 through the 10th seed.
This is why I love that statement, because my man, I don't like, y'all can take it after this. My man knows he's gold enough to make that statement and the next night slide in the 5th. Y'all take that. So it'd be different if my boy was like kind of flirting with 7, 8, 9. It'd be different then. But he was like, nah, we finna slide from 7th to 5th. And what I said is finna be that more substantial because y'all finna know it ain't no bites. I'm in 5th. I'm good. And we got 7, 8 more games left. We got some opportunity to slide up a little bit more too. So yeah, y'all can try to front on that. Oh, I'm mad that I'm in 7 to 8, but that ain't what this is. I said what I said. Y'all take it away.
Yeah, I can understand that point. But I also know like the West ain't nothing to play with, and I also know Anthony Davis is still like playing with a nagging injury and so on and so forth. So we all talked about we're not worried about LeBron having to win a game in a play-in tournament. So I mean, yeah, I just wonder if he just like if he feels like that, whether or not they were in it, or if he feels like that overall. But so last year, right? Last year, I guess the play-in tournament made a lot more sense. With it being an NBA bubble and they taking that long hiatus in March due to COVID, and you're just trying to get your feet back under you, and you're trying to make it fair for all parties involved coming to the bubble to make it make sense for teams to come out there. So last the 8th seed, the bubble was strictly with the 8th and 9th seed, and it was a best of 3 series. So if you were that 8th seed, you had to play against the 9th seed and you just had to beat them once, whereas that 9th seed had to beat you twice. This year, as it relates to the play-in tournament, is not necessarily a best of 3 series. So you have the 7th The 8 seed will play each other head up, and whoever wins out of that 7 and 8 seed will take the 7th seed spot. They will be securing that 7th seed spot. Then you have the 9th and the 10th seed. They will play each other. Whoever wins out of that 9th and 10th seed will then play the person who lost the 7th and 8th seed seeding placement game. So from that standpoint, whoever wins out of the 8th, whoever that 8th seed may be, they're going to play the winner out of the 9th and 10th seed, and whoever wins out of that game, sorry if that sounds confusing, then they will take the 8th spot. So yeah, and that's going to happen for both East and West. No matter the rankings or what the standings look like, that's what's going to happen from the 7th through the 10th as it relates to the play-in tournament games for the playoffs. Darnell.
I 1,000% agree with LeBron James when you break it down that way, because that destroys a person's season. That's coaching strategy to get to that placement. That destroys so. Oh my God, that's nauseating. Someone should get fired for that. Like, placement alone is hard to do. Let alone, so you're placing, and now you're placing to play against a play-in. Now you got to place against a play-in and strategize against them. Now you got to wait so much time to strategize against a top seed team. Like, the odds are totally against you in every which way. That is at first I thought it was just like, okay, you play in, whoever plays in gets in. The last one who fights for the 9th seed, for the 8th seed, they play in. No, that's totally idiotic. I totally agree with LeBron. And also, if LeBron was to be in that position, you know how much fatigue and strategy that would throw off? Yes, he's great, but god damn, like, you're asking a lot from some players. Like, sheesh.
Yeah, and so I think my favorite basketball podcast is No Chill Gil with Gilbert Arenas. And so, like, Gilbert Arenas was just giving his NBA perspective on it, and he was just like, yo, so you're telling me if I'm a 7th or 8th seed and I'm 11 games way better than the 9th and 10th seed, I still have to potentially play them and avoid a damn haymaker for us to just have a bad night and they steal an AC from us? And so he kind of just went on to talk about on Instagram how, like, that 07 We Believe team, they were 10 games, they were in 10th place with 10 games left, and they went on a 9-1 run to make it into the 8th seed. So it's like, bro, you got 82 games to prove what you got. Your players get hurt, your players get injured, but it is what it is. Like, you got 72 this season, I believe. You got 72 games to figure it out. Like, yeah. And then, and like, forgive me for being pessimistic, guys. I'm just, trying to think worst case scenario. What if in one of these play-in tournaments, your star player get a season-ending injury? Then what are we talking about? But yeah. Yeah. So that's the game. That's how the game gonna go on. That's how the game is gonna go so far on the NBA play-in tournament. This is only being implemented for this season. I'm pretty sure after LeBron's remarks and LeBron's weight and what he says, meaning a lot, carrying a lot of weight in the league, it probably won't happen after this year, but it will just happen this year. Obviously, we're gonna dig into it more as the playoffs gets closer and closer. But big time triple salute to the Phoenix Suns. I am so excited to see Devin Booker finally get a chance to show the entire globe why his greatness. And also, again, let's not forget, Chris Paul is on this team, and they are now the number 1 seed. Oh man, Chris Paul, we got to give that man some flowers, bro. We got to give him some flowers. And the head coach, Monty Williams. You gotta give him credit too. So yeah, shout out to the Phoenix Suns and everything they've been doing this year. So yeah, all right.
If this doesn't prove that Chris Paul, if Chris Paul wasn't into that 7 game against the Golden State, well, I know it's old shit. If he wasn't in that Golden State game, this should prove to the world like he's the best game manager and he can take any team, no matter how discombobulated or how you think they're going, he can turn them around and make them into a winning team as long as you trust in him and he's healthy. Just saying.
I want to piggyback off that, or how we got hold all them years ago. When I looked at my phone, it was like, oh shit, Kobe finna get Chris Paul. And the next day it was like, they did what?
Yo,
I agree.
Okay, so I may be butchering it a little bit, maybe a lot of bit, but so the reason, I don't know if y'all know specifically, but the reason that trade got canceled is I don't know if y'all remember vividly, but that trade happened during the NBA lockout, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
and the NBA owned New Orleans.
But not just the fact that they own New Orleans. During the lockout, like that was supposed to be like that was a neutral space to be like, yo, you can't be trying to trade and deal during the lockout to try to have first dibs once we announce that we're back up and running. You cannot do that, right? And so what had happened was you had all these teams, everybody had to like be in New York or somewhere, someplace for all the like team owners and GMs to like meet up to like, all right, how are we gonna go about like getting the season started? And while everybody was all in this one place and they GMs, you had the Lakers making pitches to the you had the Lakers making a pitch to the New Orleans Hornets. Was it the Hornets then? It was the Hornets, right? Yeah. Making a pitch to the Hornets to get Chris Paul. And while obviously the league owned them, and maybe under different circumstances that trade would have went through, but like once they figured like, yo, how y'all gonna tell us not to be trying to trade and deal, but y'all got us all sitting here trying to figure out how we gonna start back up after the lockout, and now all of a sudden we look up and the Lakers then tried to get Chris Paul. We ain't even have a fair shot to get Chris Paul. So because of that, to like kind of maintain like structure and respect, maintain structure and respect amongst the GMs and so forth, they had to like 86 it, nix it, and then from that standpoint, like, all right, we're gonna cancel this trade. Now all y'all can go about making y'all pitches, and here we are. Then Chris Paul to the Clippers,
and then it looked double horrible. What I heard about that, it looked double horrible because they own that team. So how the fuck y'all gonna have rules for us and then do shit with the Lakers?
So that's how that. Oh my bad.
I was like, oh well, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so that's how that had came about, man. So yeah, man. So we are going to toss it to Coach Johnson, who is going to open up the floor with some marital wisdom he said he got for us young brothers on this podcast who not married.
Yeah. So I wasn't able to introduce myself. I came on a little late, had some previous engagements, but I am Coach Johnson. I am the husband.
Prostitution.
I am the. I'm kind of glad I missed that conversation, but I can't wait to see the playback. But I am the happily married husband of Jordan. I am the proud father of Harper and Deuce. And you want to say something, Edward?
Yeah, we all gonna shout out your lovely wife on the podcast who just crossed over into Greekdom, becoming a Delta over this past weekend. So shout out to you, Jordan. Congratulations.
Yes. My wife is different.
Yeah. Hey, Christian, I've never ever seen you act like this. Yeah. Why do we need all these elephants?
That's not what I was making a different reference, but it's all right. I'll talk to you about it later on. But
no, I think I got the reference, and I'm sitting up here like.
All right, so
Jordan wants you sharing that.
Hey, so you say because I was about to say something.
I think Jordan gonna like that, bro. I think you went out of bounds on that one.
But
it's different when it's pledged.
So y'all are ridiculous, man.
You started it.
I was trying to. Okay, for all those who are either DST or who are married to DST or their mom or sister, they understand the reference I just made. Okay, so
what the hell are they doing? Fast on their own?
I understand.
I thought since y'all were Greek, y'all would understand that. But
I definitely understand, bro.
You understand? Okay, got it.
I don't think you know the depths of which I understand. So it's okay though. I'm gonna let you have it. You got it, bro.
We'll have a conversation off camera. So a couple weeks ago, my wife and I both had a great realization about the state of our marriage, and it was just beautiful. And I shared it with Elwood, and I was like, man, I got to share this with the people. And so, like Edward said, she just crossed over. Heart, you want to say hi to everybody?
What's up, Heart? Oh, you gonna get
Too
shot
much,
on this?
too
Really?
much.
Oh, peekaboo, Heart.
All right, so you gotta go to sleep. So, like Edward just said, my wife just crossed Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated, and so her process of pledging was very strenuous on her, on our family, and so I had to step up even more and trying to take care of the house, trying to take care of our daughter Harper, and
you grew a beard.
Yeah, I guess this has been a long time coming. I've been working on this for like 6 years. I finally got, in doing that, she would always tell people about how much that she appreciated me and how much I was helping her out, but she didn't realize how much I was that she was helping me out, right? And so she went to she just got a new therapist. And he asked her, hey, how was your marriage? And she said, well, I feel like I'm receiving an 11 out of 10, but I'm giving a 5 out of 10, right? And so she went through, to explain, how much, I'm supporting her and all this stuff. And she doesn't feel like she's supporting me. And her therapist said, well, did your husband say that? And she was like, no. It's like, well, you should allow your husband to speak, right? And in that moment, I realized that I haven't shared with her how much that she's helping me, right? And so, there's, I'm at a time right now in my life where, I'm about to turn 30. I am finally, I'm a late bloomer. I'm finally figuring out exactly what I want to do in my life and stuff like that. So, I'm not working. I'm at home. I'm taking care of the baby. I'm doing all these other things, outside of going to a job and bringing in money into the house. And that could be a problem. That could be something that I hear about every day, right? That could be, something, that a lot of folks be like, oh, you just, excuse my French, but you just, an ain't shit nigga that's at home, right? And that's not at all how she treats it, right? She sacrifices to make sure that I have the freedom to go through this period that I'm going through, to grow myself so that later I can be better, right? And I feel so much love from that, right? And her response was, oh, well, we're a team. I'm just doing my part. And my response to her is, hey, me doing all the stuff that you think that's over the top, me going above and beyond, that's how I feel as well, right? It's just me doing my part. We're a team and we're just doing our part. But the great thing is that because of the way that we're doing those things and how it's being conducted, and from the place that we're doing it, it's being felt on the other side. And that realization it was awesome, that both of us felt so much love and support, while we both felt like, okay, hey, I'm just clocking in. I'm just, like the Patriots, I'm just doing my job, right? And so that was just, great. So for, to wrap this whole thing up, for those in relationships, do your job, do it with love. If you're with the right person, they're going to love and appreciate it. It's it's going to come back to you, right? So so just wanted to share that, that's where we are.
I want to add a little bit more context to that for you, Christian. So for all y'all out there who heard like, what, that nigga ain't working, what, his wife kind of bringing home the bacon right now, he's just staying at home with the daughter. Christian has worked himself out of all complete debt, so he has the cushion to do that, unlike some of y'all. And he's worked so hard prior to this moment and phase that he's going through in his life that he got a couple thousand saved up working collectively with him and his wife to where he can put himself in that position. So he put himself in that position to be able to have the luxury and the fortitude to be able to say, how do I want to go about my life right now? God, which direction? Whoop, 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 whoop. So understand, he's been putting in the work to have the luxury to do that. Some of us don't have that luxury. Some of y'all ain't got that luxury. So if any of y'all thinking about judging that man, ask yourself, are you absolutely complete debt free? And if you are not, keep your opinions and your thoughts and your concerns as it relates to Christian and his household to yourself.
Appreciate it, brother.
Almost like fire, Chaz.
Yeah, man. So, all right.
I got a question.
Go ahead, bro.
So you said your wife went to see a therapist. So the conversation or the realization that y'all had with each other, that happened after she went visit?
Yeah.
So pretty much, like some kind of way, you know, God kind of made it to where, you know what I'm saying, it was revealed to her that, nah, that nigga feel like you putting in 10, 111, like he putting his 10 and 11, you know what I'm saying? Type shit.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad, you know. So she has a, you know, a brother that she's working with, and you know, my wife has seen, you know, plenty of different therapists for different things, and you know, this is the first time she's working with a black guy, and so I think because he's, you know, a black man, he kind of understands that, you know, well, hey, you know, are you just thinking this about yourself, and you're not, you know, what's going on? And so he kind of made her rethink about it. But also too, I think maybe I hadn't done a good enough job of relaying to her before then that, hey, you are doing a lot, right? You know, so yeah, go ahead.
And your wife did a great enough job of coming to you and saying to you, hey, Christian, I feel like I'm not doing enough to give you the opportunity to say, hey, no, I feel like you are doing enough. So pretty much, she didn't just sit on it and allow it to eat her up. Yeah. She really, she brought it to her husband, who was her partner, and allowed you guys to be able to tackle it together, right?
Yes, sir. We have great.
Oh, okay. I just maybe thought. I think I maybe know how marriage work a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Communication is key. So we
easier said than done.
It is easier said than done. It takes a lot of work, and trying to consistently be there. And I kind of heard this quote today that I really want to try to start living by. I'm not here to prove myself. I'm here to improve myself. All right. I'm not here to prove myself. I'm here to improve myself.
That's hard.
I kind of want to take that.
That's hard.
Yeah.
And organically or as a to-do list?
No, just organically, like, hey, you know, like, hey, if you're not improving, you're getting worse, right? And so, you know, me gloating about whatever, right? Hey, I'm great on this podcast, so I'm great in this, or you know, right? Or you know, I'm great in my marriage. I don't need, you know, right? It doesn't allow me or anyone to kind of look and see, hey, where can I improve? What, you know, you start asking. You don't continue asking the same questions. You don't continue looking out for the same type of things when you're not trying to consistently improve. And so, with me trying to live that out, right? And you know, in this case, as far as being a husband, it's like, hey, you know, how can I, you know, consistently talk to my wife and try to hear how I can improve for her? And so one thing would have been, you know, affirming to her, hey, you're doing a lot for me, right? Just by you doing what you think is your job to do, it's doing a lot for me, right? And so, so that there.
That's hard. I love that shit. Communication, guys. That's all it takes. Fucking communication.
Major key.
Beautiful people, thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, we do not take you listening and watching us for granted. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share this with a friend, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is the Respect the Game podcast. See you next week.